vision. Saress, I'm gonna make a vision board. It's gonna solve all of our problems. Maybe not your problems, but my problems. I don't really have any problems. I just need to keep my brain on track. When you think of my brain, think of a giant warehouse with concrete floors and walls and ceiling for as far as the eyes can see. And then imagine an aircraft carrier from the military, you know, the ones that they drive those big ass tanks up into. Imagine that one of those flies in, and instead of being full of tanks, it's full to capacity of bouncy balls. And it opens up the doors and empties its belly into this warehouse. And the chaos ensues. The balls are my thoughts running wild in an endless concrete pavilion. That's the inside of my head on a daily basis. I'm the queen of making lists. Every day I make lists. List after list after list and more lists. I just make lists. I make lists on the backs of envelopes. I make lists on packing material. I make lists on my hands. I make lists on old pieces of mail. But my favorite thing is, of course, to fill a notebook full of lists.
I'd like to point out that it's very hard to make lists and live by those lists when you don't ever know where they are.
Then I lose the list. So about 5 years ago, a friend of mine came to me and said, Rio, why don't you stop making lists and make a vision board? And I was like, I don't know what that is, and as long as I don't have to smoke any peyote, I'll try it okay. So for me, a vision board is a way to take all of my random thoughts and combine them on a list, and then take that list and put it on a big board along with photographs, so that every single solitary day I can look at those lists on the board and figure out if, you know, if I need to put some more effort into this, or if we're moving along with that, and just keep a gauge as to where all of these goals are. Because everything that you want to achieve goal-wise is totally achievable, but you have to stay on track. And for me, the only way that I stay on track is with the vision board. Oh my God, total game changer. So I'm gonna show you guys how I did mine. And maybe it will help some of you. Alright, so my vision board, when I start my vision board, I start with another list. And then it's a list of things I'm passionate about. The list of things, goals, if you will, in my personal and professional life. They suggest that you put 10 things on your list. Nah, I never have just 10 things on my list. So at the center of my board is YouTube. What I want to talk about first is the heart of my vision board, which is this map. I got this map from a friend, Eucor. Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
For my birthday. And it is the coolest world map. I've always wanted a world map, and it is the coolest world map I've ever seen, because it allows you to, it's a scratch off, like a lottery ticket, except way better. So you can scratch off where you have been. So I put pins, Stace and I went through and put pins on all the places that we could think of off the top of our head that we wanted to go. And believe me, there are more than just what's here, but you know, I didn't want to overwhelm the board. The vision board helps me categorize things that have to happen in order for ultimate things to happen. Perfect example is the fact that we want to take you guys on the road. We're going back to Florida this year to do the show circuit in the summertime. Palm trees, sunny beaches, crystal clear water, and cranky retired people. Yeah. So, in order to make that happen, a few things have to fall into place, such as, first thing right here at the top is I have to get a new truck. Now, I am not a gotta have a new vehicle kind of girl every 4 years. My truck is 14 years old and I love it. I have cared for it like a member of my family. Like sometimes I like my truck more than I like my teenagers because it doesn't sass me, okay? But my truck is 14 years old. I'm not saying that she's in bad shape. I'm just saying that she can no longer pull all my gear across country through a mountain pass to get me to one side of the country or the other. It's time to let her just be a grocery getter. So, gotta get a new truck. Gotta get an RV so we have a place to stay. Hotel rooms are extremely expensive on the road. If I buy an RV with a toy hauler in the back, that means I don't have to buy a separate trailer. That means the truck hauls my living quarters and all of my gear directly to the show. We can stay on site and have all the conveniences of a studio set up inside the RV so we can keep filming for you guys. Then I gotta get a new tent because my pro panels are 10 foot tall and my tent is only 8 foot tall. So collaborations is right here in the center of my list. We want to grow the channel. We realize that right now we're a little fish in a great big pond and nobody gives a rip. But as the channel grows, we're hoping to be able to entice some people to do collaborations with us. We have 2 channels. We have this channel, Real Saress, and we have Wanna Go Diving. Wanna Go Diving is set up to take influencers on an all expense paid trip to paradise. We want to get them certified and take them scuba diving and film the entire thing. So we've got to grow this channel to make that channel function so we can do what we want to do, because I would love to capture the next generation of scuba divers, y'all. That's what I want to do. So of course we want to get to 1 million subs, brand deals, vlog 3 times a week, then vlog 5 times a week, be invited to speak at VidCon. That's a big one. And, you know, do speaking gigs all over the world. I really want to be able to do those sorts of things. In order to do those sorts of things, I got to go back on the road and we got to grow these channels. And that just keeps my brain focused. Now, let's talk about this picture. Now, I never, ever put somebody else's face on my vision board because I don't want to compare myself to anyone. I don't want to be anyone but me. And I want to be the best me that I can possibly be. So, after that statement, it makes sense to put this guy on my board. Casey Neistat. This dude is genuine. I think that he is honest and he gives outstanding advice to his followers. I find his drive to be incredibly inspiring on a whole lot of levels. Casey inspires me to improve my work ethic. He inspires me to be true to myself. He inspires us to look at every single episode that we produce as if it were a movie. He inspires us to look at every single episode that we produce like it's a movie, and to make sure that we are pushing ourselves to become better filmmakers and better storytellers. After all, this channel is our story. So it better be a good one. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, if you're like one of the only people left on the planet who doesn't know who Casey Neistat is because you've been living under a rock or in a bubble and you haven't subscribed to his channel, I would love to invite you to do so now. Casey, congrats on the baby that's on the way. Looking forward to watching all of that unfold. If you ever get a wild hair and decide that you want to go diving, look us up because we would love to make a movie with you. So, that's why Casey Neistat is going on our board. I would like for Saress and I this year, if we become 1 ounce the filmmaker, the motivator, and the storyteller that Casey Neistat has become on YouTube, then we have definitely done something. So we're not going to share with you every single thing that's on the board. You're obviously going to be able to see it in the studio shots, and it's going to drag on forever and ever. If you want to know more about what's on my board, then leave it in the comments below and let me know. And then we'll come back and do something very specific for you, because there's a lot going on here. Now it's time to get some Velcro on the back of this baby and get it on the wall.
Is it going in?
Good.
You're kicking out thumbtacks.
It's kind of funny. It's official, it's on the wall. Some accountability right behind me, y'all. And as we start to have things happen and manifest and we're gonna share with you our victories. And I'm not sure that's gonna be the first one though, but it's a work in progress. And let you know where we stand. So if you decide you wanna make your own vision board, tag us on Twitter and on Instagram. Our handles are in the description below.
Love handles.
Love handles. My love handle is more like a love inner tube at this point, which is why this shit is on the board. Hopefully this has excited you and inspired you to find your own path, to start your own journey, and to tell your own story. Ciao. High five.